Okay, so this question's asking us to work with a cube, and it's asking us to work out its volume. So the first thing we should recognise is, because it says the volume of the cube, then we should remember the volume is equal to the length times the width times the height. So again, it's one of those formulas that you need to make sure you have in your memory. It wants us to work in cubic centimetres, but the measurements have been given in centimetres. So need the same units. So it's important that we actually convert each of these into the same unit. So it wants the answer in cubic centimetres, so we'll change the metres into centimetres. So we're going to times by 100, because we should remember that 1 metre equals 100 centimetres. So that's going to be 80 centimetres. And it's a cube, every side will be the same, 80 centimetres. That means we can go back to the formula that we had then. So the volume is equal to the length, well, we said that's 80, times the width of 80, times the height of 80. They're all in centimetres, so we're doing centimetres times centimetres times centimetres. And when you do the same thing times the same thing times the same thing, we write it shorter as cubed. 3 dimensions being multiplied, so we end up with cubed units. I mean, the question has given you that hint in its answer line, but sometimes they don't give you that, and you must make sure that you always write the units down for questions involving measurements. So when we do this calculation, 80 times 80, 80, you can do it in a calculator, but it's going to be 512,000, so this answer here will be 512,000. The question 14, it talks about having 3 whole numbers. They have a total of 100, so again identifying the key ideas. The first number is a multiple of 15. Well, that gives us a clue then, so we're going to write down the multiples of 15. So multiples means the times tables, so 15 times tables goes 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90 and so forth. So again, you've got your calculator, so use that to work out your times tables if you need to. The second number is 10 times the third number. Well, okay, so we know the first number is going to be one of these. That means then that the other 2 numbers must add to make 100, because it's said that the total is 100. So the other 2 numbers add to. Well, in this case they would have to add to 85, in this case they would have to add to 70, in this case they'd have to add to 55, in this case they'd have to add to 40, 25 and 10 and so forth. It says the second number is 10 times the third number. Okay, so we don't know what these are, so when we don't know something we call it X or Y, or it doesn't really matter what we call it as long as we define what we mean. The second number is 10 times the third, so let's call the third number X. So the third number equals X, so second number equals 10x, because it says it's 10 times the third number. Well, we know that x plus 10x is 11x. We know the question says that this is about whole numbers, so we know that 11 times something must give us something in the 11 times table. Well, when we look at these differences here, we can see that the only number that's in the 11 times table is 55. So 11x must equal 55, and therefore x is equal to 5, because we have to divide by 11, because we know what 11x's are worth. So now we know that this was about the 11 times table. We know that x is 5, so 10x will be 50. So our third number is equal to 5, and our second number is equal to 50. So we decided then that our first number must be a multiple of 15. Well, that was 45. We found from a little bit of logic that our second number then became 50, and our third number became 5. And our check is simply 45 plus 50 plus 5 does equal 100, and 50 equals 10 times 5. So our check, by going through the logic of the question, first number multiple of 15, yep, 15 times table, second number is 10 times the third number, second number is 10 times the third number, and all the numbers have to add up to 100. Okay, so that's how that question could have been done.